Everything begins with Rosalie, along with her daughter Maddie. The two of them are in the kitchen, preparing dinner while they wait for the return of their son Rob. Suddenly, the doorbell interrupts the atmosphere. Rosalie and her husband Luke open the door, and they run into two police officers. They inform them that Rob has died by drowning while he was enjoying a day of swimming with his friends. News shatters Rosalie's heart, plunging the entire family into deep sorrow. Consumed by guilt, Rosalie holds herself responsible for her son's death and decides to lock his bedroom door, ensuring that no one will ever be able to enter. The family begins to fragment, with a notable disconnection between its members. During a grief support group, Rosalie and Maddie meet a man named Jed, who provokes an immediate connection with them by expressing his own pain over the loss of his grandmother. Rosalie decides to invite Jed to dinner and introduces him to Luke, who realizes that the young man reminds them a lot of Rob. Over time, Jed's visits become a regular element, and he and Maddie begin to see each other frequently. One day, while they are playing with a hose, they end up soaking Jed. After taking off his shirt, he heads toward the kitchen, where Rosalie watches him with a gaze that suggests there is something more than a simple friendship. When he approaches, she offers him Rob's clothes. The tension in the air is evident, but Rosalie manages to lighten the mood with a laugh. "Go get dressed, don't soak my kitchen," she tells him. After he withdraws, she lets out a deep sigh. Later that same night, Tom, a priest and friend of the family, arrives to join them for dinner. After a while, Jed comments to Rosalie that they share many similarities, but she warns him that he must be careful and not let himself get too involved. At night, she dreams of Jed, and upon waking, guilt overwhelms her. Jed's stay at Rosalie's house continues. She asks for his help to check her old cabin after hearing an unsettling noise. Although they find nothing out of the ordinary, they lose the car key, which forces them to spend the night in the cabin. During their interaction, Rosalie opens up about the pain she feels over the death of Rob, and Jed consoles her before they both retire to sleep in separate rooms. That night, her dreams are more vivid than ever. Finally, she gives in to them, but is interrupted by Jed, who opens the door. Enraged, she yells at him, but he clarifies that he was simply calling her name. Ashamed, she orders him to leave. The next morning, Jed manages to find the lost key. When they prepare to leave, he mentions the dream again, but Rosalie denies it. However, he confesses that he also thinks about her. She remains silent, starts the car, and begins to drive. On returning home, they encounter Maddie, who is being threatened with a knife by a gang. Jed acts quickly, moves them away from danger, and assures Rosalie that he will be present to protect them. That same night, Jed takes a moment alone with Rosalie. He gives her a necklace, but when she ignores him, he tries to put it on her himself and kisses her. Rosalie reacts, pulling away quickly. Jed admits that he constantly thinks about her, but that instant is interrupted by the arrival of Luke and Maddie. The next day, Rosalie attends church, but images of Jed in her bed do not stop tormenting her. With Luke traveling to Scotland for work reasons, Jed suggests to Rosalie that they move in together to take care of Maddie. Uncomfortable with this proposal, she decides to offer him a job at a nursing home instead. However, Maddie firmly opposes this, arguing that Jed must stay with them. Without many alternatives, Rosalie finally gives in. Jed moves into Rob's room. At night, Rosalie has trouble sleeping, irritated by the noises coming from Jed in Maddie's room. The next day, while passing by his door, she stands paralyzed upon finding Jed showering with the door open. He turns toward her, and Rosalie retreats immediately. Subsequently, she meets with Tom, who mentions that Jed watches her in a different way. Rosalie admits that she has noticed and that she likes it, given that no one before had paid attention to her. Tom becomes irritated and advises her to stay away from Jed. That night, Rosalie's vivid dreams continue. Upon waking, she is resolved to make Jed leave, but he approaches and kisses her. This time, she does not stop. At first, Rosalie tries to resist, but finally she gives in to the attraction they both feel. Guilt consumes her. The next morning, Jed declares his love for her and suggests that they must be honest with Maddie. Scared, Rosalie meets with Tom and confesses everything. She makes the decision to send Maddie to her grandmother's house, with the hope that this will convince Jed to leave. Meanwhile, Tom begins to be suspicious and decides to investigate Jed's past. He shows up at Rosalie's house, where Jed opens the door for him. Tom confronts him, accusing him of having stolen at the nursing home. Upon returning, Rosalie runs into an obsessed Jed, who demands she run away with him, enraged by Tom's accusations. When Rosalie asks him, he reveals that he has stolen because he needed the money. Distraught, Rosalie mentions that she trusted him, but Jed blames her for wanting only a physical affair. Suddenly, the sound of a slap echoes in the room, followed by another, Jed's. An instant of deep silence envelops them. He whispers an apology and goes out to confront Tom, who had called Rosalie to go to church. Upon returning, she feels trapped, forced to feign a love that she does not feel. Planning to escape, she makes an excuse to go withdraw money and tells Jed to pack. However, before she can escape, she receives a call. Tom has had an accident. Instead of heading to the hospital, she continues investigating Jed's past and discovers his true name, Ryan, as well as an old phone in his apartment. That same phone turns out to be Rob's. Shocked, she meets with Aisha, Rob's girlfriend, who reveals that Ryan and Yaz are scammers involved in smuggling, and that it was Ryan who caused Rob's death. Determined, Rosalie promises Aisha to keep the secret. Meanwhile, Maddie returns home. Upon observing the packed suitcases, she confronts Jed, who cruelly reveals his relationship with Rosalie. With a broken heart, Maddie escapes and calls a furious Rosalie. Deciding to take matters into her own hands, Rosalie contacts Jed so they can meet at her cabin. As soon as he enters, he takes her to the bedroom and forces her to undress. Taking advantage of the opportunity, she makes an excuse to get a drink and secretly grabs a knife. But before she can attack him, Jed discovers Rob's phone and chases her. In that precise moment, Luke arrives and attacks Jed, only to be knocked out in the process. Without thinking twice, Rosalie stabs Jed. Subsequently, in their home, a police officer informs them that Yaz is the main suspect in Jed's murder. The final scene, it is revealed that Tom is alive, and that Rosalie's family finally finds tranquility. Penance is not just a thriller. It is a psychological study about loss and manipulation. It leaves us with a disturbing question. How well do we really know the people we choose to let into our lives? Now the danger has not disappeared, and neither has your curiosity. Check out one of these videos.